Hello, everybody. Welcome to Too Much Information. I'm Moondog, and I'm very thankful that you could join me here this evening or this afternoon, depending on which part of the country you're in. On this show, we're going to be going over some of the new projects that I released on my three different YouTube and other channels and platforms this week, and give you some background information about the videos and answer any of your questions you might have about them, as well as any of the products that I reviewed. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me here, and also let you know that we will be having a giveaway this evening, this afternoon, and the what you need to do is just type in the word hashtag Nightforce, NIGHTFORCE, and a lucky winner out there. We'll be doing the drawing a little bit later in the show, but I just wanted to let everybody who tuned in early get an early opportunity to type in, and you'll be getting a swag pack that Night Force gave out at SHOT Show this year, which includes a number of decals, including a bumper sticker and two, at least one vinyl decal. I'm feeling it. Yeah, I think it feels more like two vinyl decals inside of this. So I'll be mailing this out to the lucky winner today. So make sure you get your hashtags in and the side chat there, and you have a good chance of winning. All right, so let's proceed. Oh, actually, before we get started, I just wanted to call out this episode sponsor, which is Aura, which is an online cybersecurity service that I use to help protect myself while I'm online. They offer VPN services, they offer spam blockers, fraud alerts, and identity theft insurance included, all bundled in with your membership. And the biggest benefit that I've gotten from them, aside from the fact that I'm sure they've protected me and blocked a lot of the spam calls that I got before this election. But there's these companies out there called data brokers, and there are hundreds of them out there that buy and sell our personal information online to marketing companies, to political organizations. That's how they find us, and they buy and sell our information, and you can actually have yourself removed from these companies. But you have to go through a process where you have to log in, then find out if they have your information, for one, and then you can formally request to have it removed. But it's tedious because there's hundreds of them out there. Or you could use Aura's data broker removal service. It's really just a matter of filling in your key information and pressing a button, and boom, I got myself removed from over 30 data brokers so far, and they're removing me from 3 or 4 more. And most of those are actually removed within the first 72 hours of my starting their service. And here's the thing, you can get an opportunity to try this for free using my link, aura.com/moondog. You can actually use that service, legit service, during your free trial. So you can get yourself removed from all these data mining and data broker services for free. So try it out. Go to aura.com and then /moondog, and you get a free trial. So check it out. All right, so let's talk about some of the new videos that came out this week. And the first one is on my Moondog 2A channel. And this is actually, for some of you who've been longtime subscribers to my channel, you might have actually seen this video come out a few weeks ago by accident, because when I uploaded it, I don't know, for whatever reason, it, instead of it, usually when you upload stuff on YouTube, you can select to have it published immediately or to have it put on hold temporarily, or until you publish it, or you can schedule it to be published at a specific time. So I was planning on having this published now, or at least last weekend, but for some reason immediately published. And before I discovered that it was immediately published. Some folks actually got this chance to, like 200 people viewed this video before I hit the pause button on it. So it actually officially launched last Sunday. And it is a review of the Midas LE Gen 2, which is a full-size reflex sight for a rifle. And what was interesting to me about it is it looks almost exactly like a micro reflex sight, just bigger. So also the other thing about it is it has multiple reticles you can select in it. And it was a really good rifle reflex sight. And I don't know. I don't often see reflex sights on rifles anymore. Either people have gone to LPVOs or they've gone to tube style um, red dots, but I hardly ever see reflex sights in this. I wonder why that is. Now, I'm actually reviewing a reflex sight right now, and it's like the traditional old school. You've seen it. It's like the generic red reflex sight that from Call of Duty. And it's actually, I had to do some background information. I'll get into this, and actually next week when the video releases. But I think you know what kind of. I wonder if I have an example of it over here. I could show you. Oh well. Anyway, reflex sights. Does anybody out there use them? And I don't know. For some reason, whenever I see people have the cheap, $20-$30 reflex sights on their that come to the range, I think, oh, noob, probably. Maybe that's being judgmental, or maybe that's being unfair, but I don't often see them. But so that video came out, and that's released. And let me just want to get a comment here that some of the folks who I've not purchased one. Michael Hart said DeHart, and let's see here. And Will Track says the Sight Mark M and A spec sights are pretty top tier. Yeah, there are some top tier ones, and there's the original one was actually this company called Ultradot, which almost nobody has. They were one of the first companies out there to actually come out with tube style red dots back in the I believe the late 80s, and they sponsored some teams for the NRA bullseye pistol competitions. So they're in that milieu, and that for precision pistol competitors. They're a well-known company. It's just that us normies, the regular shooting folks, don't often see that brand out there. But funny enough, they're copied like up the wazoo by everybody else. Oh, so anyway, since I posted up some, let me just call out some of the folks out there who have joined us already and have already typed in their hashtags. We have Michael Dunn. Welcome, Michael. Got Daniel out there. We have Chris. And we saw Michael earlier. We have QH. And we have Will. And I think Will had the question here. What's with the Night Force? It's we're doing the hashtag. I'm giving away the Night Force swag pack. So get your hashtag in, and then the word is Night Force. And we also have Gizzard Gary. Hey, Gizzard, how are you? Hey, how Gary? I know I call you Gizzard, but yeah, anyway. And we have Ryan. Okay. So the other video that I put out, this one in my other channel, my non-Pew Pew channel, Moondog Reviews, is a review of the Blackbeard Plasma Lighter. And Blackbeard makes some really good products, a whole range of products for fire starters, for starting fires, specifically for outdoors and camping, and of course survival. But it was started by two brothers who are avid outdoorsmen and campers, and they were looking for better ways to start fires, especially in inclement weather. And they developed a whole line of products, both waterproof kindling, as well as in this device, it is a plasma lighter, kind of like a little mini arc welder, or like a mini, almost like the same kind of sparky material or electronics that are used to make tasers or stun wands, but really small. And or really, if you have a gas stove, when you hear the little puck that starts your burner, you have these little USB battery rechargeable lighters about the size of a Zippo. And this one is unusual because it has an X pattern, where usually you'll have just one plasma bar. This one has an X, two of them. So this definitely is hot enough to start practically any kindling, even pretty moist kindling. Now, I made a mistake on my video review that I was saying that the spark, the plasma arc in the lighter was as hot as the surface of the sun. And that's actually, I did a little more delving into it, and no, it's not. It's not quite as hot as that, because I thought it was the same technologies as in plasma torches and arc welders, uh, um, and it's not. So, yeah, I apologize for giving that incorrect information, but it's certainly plenty hot to start just about any fire out there. And QH had a question out there. Do plasma lighters work in snow and high altitude? They do, depending on your kindling. And I'm assuming you're saying you're not trying to light snow, but yeah, if you have Blackbeard kindling or a good quality kindling or dry kindling, yeah, you could light this up in snowy conditions. Yeah, the in my videos of their waterproof sticks, there's these little there's little kindling sticks. I dropped them in water for like an hour, and I took them out, and they was able to start a fire with them. So yeah, depending on what you're trying to, if you have proper kindling, yeah, you could start a fire in the snow. And Daniel said their gate is like mine. I don't understand what that means though. What their gate is like mine. You might want to let me know if I misunderstood what that means. But anyway, and Will chimed in. I keep one of these in my tackle box, and they're definitely waterproof. Yeah, and that's another thing. You could drop the actual lighter. I dropped it in water. It is really well put together. And we have another regular coming in. We got Boomstick. How are you doing? So we're just talking about the Moondog review on the plasma lighter. So check it out. It's a well-made electronic lighter, and it's rechargeable. So that's another plus. And there's a lot of plasma lighters out there, but this is one of the few that has like the double emitters or the double contacts. So that's double the heat and ability to start a fire. And on my other channel, Moondog Go, which is the one I'm trying to really get over the finish line, get it over 1,000 subscribers right now, and that's why I've been heavily promoting it, as well as having contests to encourage people to subscribe to it. And almost there. We're like at 807, I think, the last time I looked. And yeah, I've got, it's a little less than 2 months until the end of the year. But my original goal was try to get it over 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And we're getting close to that. I don't know if we're going to actually make that, but it'll be great if I can get over 1,000 subscribers. And the 1,000 subscribers is like a key statistic in YouTube, because you can't get monetized. You actually can't get any money back from all the commercials and ads that YouTube puts on your videos until you have 1,000 subscribers at the minimum, and 2, 4,000 watch hours. That means all the videos that people watch, if combine them all, there's over 4,000 watch hours. So you have to hit those milestones before YouTube agrees to cut you in on all of the ads that they put on your content. But on that channel, I posted up a video. It was a time lapse of the drive around San Francisco from Twin Peaks, and the Twin Peaks area is well, I'll show you here. Here's a photo from Treasure Island. That's in the middle of San Francisco Bay, looking back towards San Francisco. And you can see just how high the hills are in San Francisco. It's a very hilly city, but behind the downtown skyscrapers are Twin Peaks to the left, and there's 2 round hills, and you can drive up to them. And they're a very popular tourist spot. Just for those of you who are planning on visiting San Francisco, amazing views up there, panoramic views of all the way from the Pacific. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge all the way into San Francisco Bay. So it's a very epic view, but make sure you don't leave stuff in your car, because I keep on seeing reports that there's break-ins of tourists who, up in Twin Peaks, who get their car broken into. So it's unfortunate. So be careful of that. Oh, and by the way, so in this picture here, Um, there's a big giant antenna. That's Sutro Tower. That's a TV antenna complex in one of the nearby hills, Sutro Hill, I think. And then to the right of that, you can see here is even higher than all those other two peaks is Mount Davidson, and that is the mountain. That's the hill that I use in my videos to compare um, optic performance at long range. From where I'm at, where I usually position myself to look at the hill. Just about all of my optics videos, I'm 1,400 yards away from that intersection to the top of Mount Davidson, and that's what I use as my reference. And one of these days, I plan to go up to there because I use a trail mark. There's a trail marker sign at the top of the hill because you can hike up to the top of Mount Davidson, and sometimes you'll see hikers in my video uh, that just happen to be there because they're there. There's hikers up there all the time, and one of these days, I plan to go up there and take a video and show you what that trail marker sign looks like for real and up close. But I'm going to share with you. Let's see. That's the video of of Twin Peaks. If I could find that video, there it is. So we're driving down Twin Peaks into this residential area next to Twin Peaks called Midtown Terrace. And there's a reservoir up there. And then we drive down into the next area, which is called Forest Hill. And there's a little kind of a canyon, a natural canyon. I'm sure at some point it must have been a dry riverbed. And that gets us into the inner Sunset District, which is next to Golden Gate Park. And that's lots of good, nice restaurants. And this is St. Anne's Church, where I usually go attend Sunday mass services. And then we'll be driving next to Golden Gate Park, which is one of the largest urban parks of any city in the United States. It's a really long park, as you can see here. I forget how many miles it is. I think it's like 2 miles long. And that leads us into the Sunset District of San Francisco. Residential. These are all residential districts that go down all the way to the beach, to the ocean. And we're going to be driving through the various streets there to get to the ocean. I'm just doing a zigzag pattern just so we can see different homes as we go towards the beach. One of the things, a lot of surfers who come and come out for the winter surf season, they'll rent homes right along the beach here. And there was a bit of controversy recently with one of the with elections because they're planning on closing this particular road. There was a proposition that came up as to whether or not to permanently close this road and turn it into a park. And it passed. But it's controversial because almost everybody who lives around the area that the Sunset that live around there voted no. They like to have the road, but almost everybody who lives far away from this area voted to have it turned into a park. So that's the bit of controversy that's going on here. And we passed the zoo, and we passed Stern Grove, which is famous for summer concerts. And then we're getting into an area called West Portal, where there you see the trolleys go by. There's a tunnel there, the West Portal, the tunnel. And this is a bougier part of town, the St. Francis Wood and Sherwood Forest. And that's Mount Davidson to the right, by the way. So we're making a full circuit because this is practically where we started. That road to the left goes up to Twin Peaks. So this video, we just did pretty much a circuit from Twin Peaks down to the beach and back. All right, so just give you a little tour of San Francisco. And if you'd like, let me know in the comments. I seldom go actually up to Twin Peaks because sometimes it gets rather crowded with tourists and especially with good weather. But if you are interested in seeing a video of the drive up to Twin Peaks and maybe in real time instead of a time lapse, let me know. Leave me a comment and I'll do a video of that in my Moondog Go channel. All right, but by the way, so that drive up to Twin Peaks and around. So I've been doing a lot of videos from attaching a camera to my car for my Moondog Go channel. And guess what happened recently? If you could see this here, that is an imprint of a license plate on my bumper because I actually got into a little accident. And this is something I just wanted to share with everybody. I'm going to share the video of the accident. So just check this out. This is my car cam on the back of my car. So, yeah, okay. We were waiting at a light, and we were moving up a little bit because the car in front of us moved up a little bit, and the car behind us just hit us. And oh, there I am looking at what the hell happened here. So yeah, that happened last week or earlier this week. So fortunately, nobody was hurt in the car. As you can see there, the speed of the car behind us wasn't terribly fast. Certainly wasn't fast enough to cause their airbags to deploy or anything like that. But it did do a little bit of damage to my car. Certainly, I now have an imprint of a license plate on our bumper. But I looked underneath the bumper when I got home because I just checked out. It was kind of split a little bit, and I tried to fix it, but I noticed the bumper was loose. So a couple of the brackets that are holding the bumper onto the car completely broken off. So I'm probably gonna have to get the bumper replaced, or I don't know if it's safe to kludge some sort of clamps on there to reclamp the bumper onto the car. I don't even know if that's legal, but anyway. So, but the person who hit the car is definitely at fault, and they've contacted their insurance company, and it's actually the same insurance company that I use. So, working with my agent and their agent, it all got worked out, but it's still not that much fun to Michael Dunn says commented about reattaching the bumper zip ties. Yeah, I thought about that, but a couple of the brackets themselves, I guess I could get a really big zip ties and zip tie some other part of the interior of the back bumper onto the frame. But the brackets they're holding, that normally hold the bumper to the frame, have plastic pins, and those broke off. But some of the actual brackets themselves broke off. So anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna see. And Michael DeHart said yes. They did have coverage. So our mutual insurance company, or at least her insurance, is covering the repairs. I'm getting estimates on that. So everything's all good. But it's a good point here. Fortunately, the person who hit me was a very responsible person. They contacted their insurance. We exchanged insurance information. They texted me back and asked if everything was okay. And I told them that I'm gonna go get some estimates from auto body places, and she said, let me know how much it's going to be. And then when we found out it was not going to be cheap, that's when we went through the insurance companies. But here's the thing. It's important, as you saw there in the video that I had, most people don't have a rear dash cam. I have a dash cam on the front and also on the rear, but just exactly for this. Like, I've seen people, and I'm sure you've heard of it, or may have even seen it, people who get in a fender bender, somebody hits them from the back, and that person just backs up and just takes off. And if you're lucky, you could catch them, you catch their license plate number or whatever. But they usually, I've seen that happen quite a few times in LA, and the person probably is taken off because they've got some priors or they don't have insurance. So being able to find them, it could be hard. So that's the reason why, growing up in LA, I know how people drive. That's why I made sure to put a rear dash cam on my car, just so I could hopefully catch their license plate. Story time here, fun time, fun story. I'd left LA and was working in New York already, and I'd gone back to LA to, I think, work on a TV commercial or go to a focus group. And the reason why I mention that is because I was there with my account executive, and that's sort of like my business, the partner in work partner that I work with in my work group, the account group. Their job is to be the liaison with the client and work out those details. But we were out in the evening in Hollywood to go to some club because it was after work, and we were taking the client out, entertaining the client, and we're waiting in line to get into this club. And I think it was on Sunset Boulevard, actually, and we're waiting in line, and we hear collision right in front of, well, right on the street next to us. We're waiting in line to get into this club. Somebody had rear-ended some other vehicle, and exactly like I said, they backed up and they just took off. The thing is, they didn't realize they left their front bumper. It had fallen off. So when the police came, within a couple of minutes, they had the license plate. Now that person might have stolen that car, for all I know, but that's one case where karma at least took a hand there, because we definitely knew what the license plate of that vehicle was that hit that car. All right, so moving on. So I'm going to do the drawing now for everybody who typed in Night Force, where I'm going to be doing our drawing for the swag pack. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Michael, did you win the swag pack last week? And did you get it already? Is my question. I think you won it last week. But or if somebody else did, please let me know if you got it already. And you have to be here to be present to win. But we'll get it. Well, let's go. And where is the giveaway tool? There we are. Okay, we got 10 entries for the Night Force swag pack, and I'm going to hit the draw button. Oh, we got 11. Okay, I'll give a count of 5, and then I'll hit the draw button. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's see who gets this swag pack from Night Force. Michael DeHart. Congratulations. Now, okay. Well, Michael DeHart, you're getting 2 of these. So let me know when you get the first one too. I mailed it out. Let's see, today. I mailed it out Monday. So maybe you just still haven't gotten it yet. And but yeah, you'll be getting another one unless you want to throw this back into the ring. But congratulations, Michael. Okay. And well, you know what? I'll let you know what the next. Oh, okay. I was about to. Michael DeHart, thank you. I'm gonna highlight this here. Michael Hart said, "Do it again, Tom. Let someone else get it." Okay, that is very magnanimous of you. Very generous of you. Thank you. For everybody, I'm gonna say that, and I'm going to hit draw again. And Michael Dunn. Another Michael. Michael Dunn, congratulations. Hope you're still there. I saw you. Michael Dunn actually was one of the first to congratulate Michael DeHart. So, Michael Dunn, thanks to Michael DeHart, you are going to be the new owner of a swag bag. So I'm fairly sure I have your contact information, Michael, but please send me an email at Moondog Airsoft, and I'm going to type it here, at gmail.com. And just remind me, send me your address information or ship to information for the swag pack, and I'll get that over to you next. And let me just share the next hashtag. We're going to have another giveaway today as well, and the word is going to be admin. But let me actually type that in, because before you start typing it in, I just realized I have to reset that the giveaway tool that they call it, and the hashtag admin. All right, now you can do it. Everybody just type in admin, and you can get a chance to win an admin pouch from Geisley Automatics. They gave these out over at SHOT Show. These are great little lanyard. These are actually designed to put your SHOT Show badge in, so that you can show it to the security when you get in, because you have to be, you have to be industry, and you have to have your tag to get into the expo centers to attend SHOT Show. But these are great to use afterwards. Great to put around your neck, take to the beach if you need to put your keys or your phone or your wallet or whatever. Or, just if you need a little place to keep your valuables, you can put it around your neck. You can tuck it in to your shirt. If you're traveling, great place to put your airline tickets and your ID when you're going through security. So yeah, these are really handy and useful outside of SHOT Show. So you're getting that. Plus, I'm putting in, as you can see here, a bunch of decals, including my buddy American Hillbilly. Got one of his decals here, but I'm putting out some industry decals, including decals from Palmetto State Armory and from Barrett. So you're going to get a bunch of extra swag from SHOT Show. So just type in admin as the key word here, hashtag admin. And all right, so moving on. So this is part of the show where I actually going to ask your help. As you saw some of the thumbnails that of the videos that I posted up. Well, I'm working on a new video, and I mentioned that with the reflex sight, that the Athlon reflex sight that I reviewed. Well, I'm working on a new review of a budget reflex sight from this company called Mid-10. And some of you may have heard of them. Probably a lot of you may have not. They're one of those budget brands that I've only seen on Amazon. And to be honest, the products that they put up there look like pretty much every other product that other budget brands have. But this one is a little bit different. This looks like just about every other reflex sight, but this happens to be a rechargeable one. So it doesn't use a coin battery. And if anybody who's used anything that runs off of a coin battery, you know that you've experienced when you've forgotten to turn your device off, whether it's a red dot or the illumination on your scope or whatnot. Usually by the next time you go to the range and you flip the switch or whatever, the battery's dead. So it's one of the reasons why I always keep a bunch of spare coin batteries in my range bag, just because I have to. Well, this one is rechargeable using a USB-C USB-C cable. That USB-C is the sort of standard that almost everybody has on their new phone nowadays. So that's the very thin one that's great about it, is doesn't matter which direction you put it in. So this is rechargeable, has a 300-hour battery life between charges, which may not seem like a lot, because I know micro reflex sights have like a 50,000 hour. Some of them have a 50,000 or 30,000 hour battery life, and that's measured in years of continuous use. This one is 300 hours. That is continuous use, but that's actually pretty decent. It's more than a week worth. If you've left something on for a week, that's 200 was it? Is it 240 hours or 10 days? 10 days is like 240 hours. So this is 300 hours. So practically, it's over 10 days of constant use. But it's not even constant use though. This thing actually has a shake awake and auto off, which I haven't seen in reflex sites that look like this. I don't know if you have, but have you ever seen a reflex site, those sort of cheapo reflex sites that have shake awake? This is the first one I've come across that had one. And I think that's the reason why I wanted to check this out, because I thought that was a great improvement on the design to be able to have shake awake. And so this is the one of the headlines that I'm suggesting to myself, that I'm probably going to be using for one of the options for the thumbnail. Auto off or rip off, because that's one of the things that folks often think of when they see a budget or cheap firearms accessory. They're always like, oh, don't spend money on that cheap crap. It's a rip off. So but I'm not saying that this is necessarily a rip off. So far in testing, it's held up. But this is what I'm going to ask you is, do you have any ideas for a headline for this budget reflex sight? So let me know, lay it on me, throw some out there in the chat, and that'll be that would be helpful. And depending on everybody's suggestions, I'll put it onto a thumbnail. And YouTube now has the option for creators to post up to 3 different options for a thumbnail, and it will automatically randomly serve up one of those 3. And the one that gets the most click-throughs is the one that YouTube will use for the thumbnail. And there's a 14-day test period. So here's one from Hillbilly, and Hillbilly has been very good with his suggestions, and I've used a couple of them for sure in the last couple of weeks. So no batteries needed. That's a good one. And this is not a or maybe this is not a thumbnail suggestion, or maybe it is. I go through batteries like toilet paper, and yeah, I'm with you there. But actually, that would be kind of a funny thumbnail headline. Okay, and wham, the reflex. Is that a reference to 80s new wave? Here's a suggestion from Abigail. One cord to rule them all. USB-C cord. And oh yeah, George Michaels. So Will made a comment, RIP George. I'm assuming he means George Michaels. Now, Carm944 and said, you can carry coin batteries pretty easy. If it's dead in the range hunt site, you need time to recharge it. True. That's the only downside to that. Though I am one of those cats who carries a spare phone recharger in my range bag, because a lot of my gear, camera gear, by the way, so I'm a little unusual in that. Most folks aren't bringing their camera gear to the range. I usually bring at least one, if not 2 or more spare batteries that are all USB powered, just because I need to have that backup for my camera gear. And if this thing happens to be dead at the range, when at the range, I can just plug in one of my batteries, and I can still soldier through. So yeah, but to your point, Carm, that the downside to any rechargeable is that if it doesn't necessarily mean that the battery won't be dead, because all batteries eventually run out of charge. So fair point. Let's see if we have any other. If you don't have any, I'm going to leave it up here for a little bit, but I'm going to move on, see if anybody else. And by the way, if you happen to come across this video after the live stream and have a suggestion for the thumbnail, go ahead and post it in the comment section. All right. But I want to move on to our next segment that we have, where I have the word of the week. And that's either a word that I don't know very well, or I have want to share an idea about. And this one, you've probably heard of the word harmonics before. But the meaning of harmonics is, and there's a lot of uses of that word for a lot of different things. And of course, everything from barrel harmonics. But in this case, the definition that I wanted to share is harmonic is a wave or signal whose frequency is an integer, a whole number or multiple of the frequency of the same reference wave. I'm going to be using it or talking about it today in terms of sound and tones and music, because that's what leads us into our next segment, is the stuff that I just sort of got into online and on YouTube, since we this channel is on YouTube, and we're all about YouTube. But so we all know about sounds, and we've all about music. Well, the interesting thing is the harmonics, like a tone, a key, like in this case C, is a certain frequency, and I don't know exactly what that is in terms of hertz as far as sound. But the interesting thing is what we hear is harmony. That it all comes from the same word, same root word. The harmonics, the harmony that we hear when things are pleasant to our ears. In the case of a chord, multiple different keys or frequencies that sound pleasant, played together form a chord. In this case, if half of the wave of a C, if we double the amount of the frequency of that by 2, so we have 2 waves in the same amount of time, that C, that's another octave of that tone. So if we had C and we double the frequency, it's the same C note to our ears. It's just an octave higher. Now, if you do a wave, a frequency that is a third of the way up, you actually get G. And if you do a wave that is a fifth, 5 times as many waves in that same amount of time, that tone becomes an E, and C, G, and E form a major chord. That's a very basic sounding chord that sounds good to our ears. And why does it sound good to our ears? Well, because of, as we go down the rabbit hole, I was looking all this stuff up. The way our ears work, inside of our ears, we got our eardrums, and our eardrums are connected by bones to the cochlea, which is this sort of snail-shaped structure in our inner ear. And that cochlea is filled with fluid, and it actually is a tube that is a spiral. And inside of the tube are tiny little hairs, little cilia, and the noise that we hear that's transferred by our eardrums to the fluid that's in our cochlea, that moves around, and that stimulates different hairs in different parts of the cochlea, depending on the frequency. The sound travels through the cochlea and stimulates different parts of the cochlea depending on the frequency that we hear. So that's what we hear as different tones, different sounds. Now, there are sounds that are pleasant, like I was mentioning, like a major chord, generally, at least to Western ears, or the majority of the world, is a pleasant sound. But all of us know of unpleasant sounds, like, for many people, like scratching on a chalkboard, unpleasant. There's other sounds like breaking glass or throwing pots and pans down a stairwell. Those are grating, almost painful to hear, because it's painful to the cochlea in our brain, and the nerves in our brain, because all those different frequencies are traveling into our cochlea and stimulating different hairs, but they're stimulating, they're irritating them, literally. So those sounds are literally interfering with the little hairs in our ears, and that's what we can perceive as unpleasant. Now, this leads me into the thumbnail of this particular episode. And if you saw that very striking image, this actually comes from an album cover from this electronic composer, Aphex Twin, whose real name is Richard James, and he's Welsh, Irish, Welsh, English. He came out came out with this album in the late 90s, but he was around in music, especially in the club scene in England throughout the 90s and even the late 80s. And this was a very striking cover because I remember when this came out. And this ties back to the previous episodes of deepfakes. You can see here, that is his face on some bodacious model's body. And that was the album cover for this. And the reason why I bring up the sounds and unpleasant sounds, well, this is one of his more famous pieces, popular pieces. I'm going to play a bit of it, not too much of it because, copyright issues, but this is what it sounds like. Club music in England at the time, it was very innovative. And he came out with a couple of ambient albums before this, and was very influential in a lot of electronic music at the time and also afterwards. If for those of you who are into this kind of music, you might recognize similar composers and artists of the same genre, like The Prodigy and Fatboy Slim, like him. And that this became a recurring theme in this album, this record, and his following record, which I use as a thumbnail. And that's putting his face onto the actors who were in the video. And this connects back to the whole deepfake thing that I covered in last week's episode. But the interesting thing is, this came out in 1990, I think 1997 or 1996. So this is over 25 years ago. They were doing this. So this is really prophetic. And here's the other thing. This was not using AI. That computing power and those programs didn't exist back then. This was actually all done with practical makeup. Those are like masks that they put on these kids in this video. That's just another crazy thing. But yeah, they're actually using masks in this. And maybe this is a little weird, but it's all connected to all the things that I was looking at last week. And it's interesting that I had stumbled because I knew about Aphex Twin before from back in the 90s. But maybe this was suggested to me by YouTube because I was looking at other deepfake stuff. So it's interesting that this all came about because of the stuff that gets suggested to me on YouTube. But we're getting maybe we're getting a little glimpse as to the algorithm, how it works. But yeah, let me just get in some of your comments about this. Michael DeHart said, Brits have always been kind of strange. This is true, but also very innovative in terms of music. And Abigail says, if you're into that, I can only offer my condolences. I know it's certainly not everybody's cup of tea. This is probably why most people have never heard of Aphex Twin. And Aphex Twin is that artist is it's just him. It's not a band. It's just him. And Will Track says, that's creepy. Honestly, it is. And I'm sure it was done intentionally to be creepy. And Abigail says, reminds me of a Primus video. Yeah, it's about that period as well. So the impressive thing to me, though, when he was creating that music, this is kids nowadays. I know that sounds like a old man statement right there. They can do all this stuff nowadays with just their laptop and computer programs, even with GarageBand, which ships free with every Mac. You just need to download and install plugins, and you can get all the sounds and download and create songs that sound just like that within minutes. That's the ability of technology nowadays for budding DJs to create this kind of electronic dance music. But the remarkable thing to me is that Aphex Twin was able to do this before any of the software came out. Most of the sounds and samples that he used were using analog, or at least very basic digital equipment. And this is like this. These are photos of his actual studio. Those are the machines that he used to create these sounds. And I was watching a video of vintage electronic music. They were actually programming the beats in DOS and typing in DOS commands, numbers to get the sequences down. There wasn't any visual a WYSIWYG version of that. You can't just drag and drop beats into a timeline like you can nowadays. They had to actually type in code to create this electronic music, and who knows how many hours it took to code all that stuff. That's just the impressive thing to me he was influential with a lot of artists who we may be able to, many of us may know better, like Nine Inch Nails, Björk. And for those youngins out there who may know these other artists, Skrillex and Diplo, definitely listen to Aphex Twin. All right, but I know certainly not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that, but I want to cleanse your palate for the vast majority of folks who are out there who may want to have something a little more harmonic in their ear. So I'm going to play a little bit of Rachmaninoff for the rest of you. And so this is a piece composed by the Russian / eventually became an American citizen composer Rachmaninoff. I believe in the early part of the early half of the 20th century, because I believe he composed that piece in the 1940s. And that is a colorized video of a pianist who is playing that in concert. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is because one of the other videos that the YouTube algorithm suggested to me this week was this one. And it is of a French guitar, acoustic classical guitar player who plays that same Rachmaninoff piece, but on the guitar. And the amazing thing to me is, this piece is not easy to play on the piano. The fact that she can play this and it sounds great on the guitar is mind-blowing to me. So, amazing guitar player, and I'll just leave it at that because she's her name is Edith Pajot, and I'll include. Let me just post up here. If you're interested in any of these videos that I'm sharing with you right now, you can find links to it on my notes section of my website for this episode. And I'm gonna just type in the link of it right now. So if you want to find the Elizabeth Pajot video and watch the whole piece, you can do that. All right. So let's finish off this week's episode, and let's see here. I think where are my notes on this? There we are. Finally, wanted to talk about the pre-Black Friday sales that I've been seeing also online. And I don't know if you've been getting a lot. Is it me this year that the pre-Black Friday sales have been coming way earlier? I mean, we all know Black Friday sales, right? They usually start hitting the beginning of the month. But for whatever reason, the actual sales starting have seemed much earlier this year than in previous years. So there's a lot of places online that are offering the deals for Black Friday already. For example, Olight is offering some of their products that are on the promotion up to like 50% off the regular price right now. So you don't even have to wait till Friday. And um, I just got an email from Discovery Optics. Now, I usually share a 10% off code, but they're offering 15% off right now. So even better than my code if you just type in Black Friday. So if you're interested in getting anything on Discovery Optics website, you can get 15% off. So yeah, I guess my code, you keep my code for after Black Friday. But here, I got a question for you out there. I'm probably going to also put a poll up. Are you guys interested? I might do a Black Friday, just a little mini episode live stream on Friday next week, along with next Wednesday. I'll be here next Wednesday and with my live stream. But would you guys be interested in maybe doing like I don't know. I thought it would be interesting. I'm going to definitely be browsing through Amazon and who knows what other websites to see what's available out there. And are any of you saving money right now for Black Friday sales, knowing that Black Friday's coming up? A buddy of mine asked me the other day, am I planning on getting any interesting new toys, i.e. any new rifles or whatever? And I said, actually, I wasn't planning on getting anything new this year. I'm kind of saving up for some possible big trips next year. I'm definitely going to go to SHOT Show, so I'm going to save money up for that trip to Vegas. But I actually was not planning on. Usually, in previous years, I'm looking to get some new bolt action or some other rifle. But right now, no, I'm not. But are you? Any of you guys looking to get anything? Let me see here. Abigail says, consumerism, buy useless garbage, usually. You can't afford to fill a void that could be filled with people. True. Of course, this is coming right at the heels of Thanksgiving, and one would think that traditionally the biggest travel day of the year, because we're trying to be with people that we love. Though the other trope and stereotype is that the Thanksgiving argument with your family that you haven't seen all year, and that's the other sort of flip side to that. Do you guys usually have a family reunion on Thanksgiving? That's becoming less and less so. People are I think people still hold that as an ideal. I'm certainly going to be having a dinner with the family, but this year we're going to I don't know if my sister is planning on having a dinner, but my wife and my mother-in-law are planning something. I'm usually the cook at the house, so they'll. But I told them this year I didn't want to cook, so we'll see what they have in mind. Time's getting short, that's for sure. Let's see here. Here's one from Will Tracks. I'm saving for a nice 30mm scope mount. Well, here we go. If you like the Discovery Optics mounts that I showcased and gave away last month, this is a good opportunity to get them from Discovery Optics, especially with that sale going on. And Abigail says, I don't get paid until the first week of the month because that's when my clients get paid. And Michael Dunn says, I'm heading to Harbor Freight on Friday. I want a mini toolbox. That's another good place to find deals for sure, is Harbor Freight. And Will Track says, that sounds like a Christmas response, Abigail. And Abigail responds back, I'm heading to Georgia to spend Thanksgiving with my dad, aunt, and cousin. That's great. I've gotten to the age where I know my parents aren't going to be around much longer, and they've told that to me. I certainly don't wish them any less time on this earth. What I'm bringing that up is I want to spend as much time with them as possible, and so this is any opportunity to go visit them and my family is always. I appreciate it much more than I did when I was younger, for sure. Michael DeHart said, my mom started one in 89, still doing it. God bless her. And Abigail responded back that she's saving for a reliable vehicle. That's important. And QH says, ever since COVID effed up everything this year, it's all coming back. The entire family is getting back together. That's good. That's good. And Wiltrax says, Harbor Freight has thick rubber mats that make great targets. Really? That's good to know. You know, another place to get I don't say rubber mats. They're not thick rubber mats, but that I use actually doormats for to put on the table when I'm cleaning or doing any gun cleaning, because I get carpet doormats, the carpet style doormats, because they're absorbent. So if I accidentally spill CLP or hoppies on the table, the doormat will soak it up. So I get the cheap doormats from IKEA. Actually, I get them from IKEA. They're oftentimes when I see them, they'll be on sale at the end bins. They're doing some sort of promotion, so I've gotten them for like $1.99 for those. I got to say they're maybe about 18 by 12 sized, or maybe they're a little bit bigger, but they make good working surfaces for doing any sort of gunsmithing work. All right, so I get you those hashtags in, hashtag admin, and we're going to be giving away that prize. But before we do that final drawing at the end of the show, now that we're near the end of the show, I just want to remind everybody that we do have 2 giveaways that I have on the channel. One is for the Fiachi tactical vest, and this is the magnetic tactical vest with this quick release here, and if you squeeze on it, it pops out. Kind of hard to get this on camera, so I'm just trying to make sure that you can see this. When you squeeze this, these things just pop off. So this is great if you need to remove a vest from somebody who has an injury, or in a vehicle rollover, if you get fuel and there's a fire, you need to get their chest rig off of them, or if you get into a water situation and need to dump your weight. This is the vest that has the fastest mechanism to quick release all of the buckles, including the cummerbund, that I've ever seen. And once you have this clipped on, this all clips on magnetically, this stuff doesn't come off until you actually press that center panel. So I'm giving Fiachi's giving this away, and letting me have the opportunity to select the winner. And I'll just type in the direct link. You could always go to moondogindustries.com/contest to enter, but I am going to type in the direct link to the entry page for you. And here's the thing. A lot of folks have already entered into this contest, but last weekend I announced additional ways to get additional free entries to win that vest. And that is by subscribing to a bunch of other channels of other buddies of mine who are great pew tubers, gun tubers online, and reloaders. And especially for the reloaders out there, because they get the short end of the stick because of YouTube. They can't actually show how to reload ammo anymore because it's against YouTube's rules. They've demonetized a lot of folks who had channels that showed the reloading process. And there's a lot of art and science that goes into it, into the best ways to develop your loads. And I don't know why this would necessarily be a forbidden topic necessarily. It's not like gangbangers are reloading and their own 300 Win Mag ammo. Really? I don't know. But for those of you who like vintage and collectible firearms, sometimes you can't even get the ammo anymore. You have to actually load your own ammo. So yeah, from a historical standpoint, you need to reload. But anyway, so these I've got a list on that link page. I have the list and links of all of the YouTubers out there who, if you subscribe to if you're already a subscriber or subscribe to their channel now, you can send a screenshot that you have hit that subscribe button to me, and I'll count that as an extra entry to win that Fiachi vest. So check out that page, the contest page, and get those extra contest entries in. And I'll be doing the drawing at the end of the month, the first Wednesday after December 1st. So that's your deadline. So get those entries in. And the other one that I'm giving away is actually, it's a little bit early, but this is actually for December. But you can actually start entering this contest now, and I'll put a link to, I'll just type in the link to that. And this is for the CV Life Eagle Talon LPVO. And this is their newest LPVO. And Mid 10, like CV Life, is one of those budget brands that you'll see oftentimes on Amazon, and a lot of folks who buy them are just buying them because they are the cheapest things that are on Amazon. But CV Life is sometimes surprised me with, one, the durability of their products, because I've had one of their red dots for quite some time, and I use it on my 1022 for the last 2 years, and it's held zero. And this LPVO that they sent me to review, while I'm not going to say it's a top tier in terms of optics, is certainly pretty darn good, way better than I was expecting. It's not like Vortex or Athlon quality in terms of the clarity, but certainly I think pretty close to Monstrum quality, which I've always recommended for a budget optic. So, and I actually like this reticle better than Monstrum's reticles. So sorry, Monstrum, but yeah, you really need. I think that's a common complaint that a lot of people have heard from me about Monstrum's reticles, is they're not quite there, and to my taste. But so this one actually is a very nice horseshoe of death / donut of death Trigicon inspired reticle. It's a 1:6 second focal plane. This is exactly what I would recommend for those who are getting into shooting. Very affordable, but you get a chance to win one of these. And this contest is going on through December. I'm going to be choosing the winner on the first Wednesday after Christmas. So you get a chance to win that if you enter that contest. All right, so let's wrap things up. I want to, we're going to draw for the winner. So this is your last chance to get into #admin. Oh, and I'll probably, depending on what I can fit into the envelope, you might get a few extra stuff than just the decals on here. So yeah, you get a chance to win this admin pouch from Geisley Automatics. All right. So let's draw the winner. Got 12 entries. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abigail. Very good. Congratulations. So Abigail, shoot me your mail to information, and I will send you out the Geisley Automatics admin pouch. And I'm just going to type in my email again, moondogairsoft@gmail.com. And be sure to tune in next Wednesday. I'm on my live streams every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, that's 6 p.m. Eastern time, and 5 p.m. Central, because that's going to be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be announcing a giveaway from Olight and showing you their new Black Friday package on that episode. So be sure to tune in next Wednesday for possibly, I'm going to find out from them whether or not they're going to let me give away one of those, or maybe something else. But they said they were going to let me give away something from Olight on that next episode. And be sure to tune in this Saturday for, hopefully, I'll be on the Hillbilly Ups live stream, Guns, Beer, and Therapy. If if I remember correctly, it is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 10 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Central. So tune in to the Guns, Beer, and Therapy live stream this Saturday. And hopefully, God willing, I'll be there unless there's something else going on in the high school that I don't remember right now. But anyway, I'm usually joining there, or at least joining the chat on that show. So tune in this Saturday and next Wednesday. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode, and congratulations to the winners this week, Michael and Abigail. And of course, next week you'll get a chance to win something from Olight. Anyway, thanks for watching. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.